Welcome to Insurance Talk Texas, brought to you by Shell Insurance Agency, North Texas's #1 business and personal lines insurance agency for the past 100 years. Call us today at 972-423-4546 for a quote, or visit us at shellinsurance.com. That's SCHELL insurance.com. Now, here's your hosts. Welcome back to Insurance Talk Texas. Today, we're talking about something that affects every single Frisco driver. And trust me, if you're commuting on the Dallas North Tollway or navigating Frisco's booming growth, you need to hear this.
Oh man, yes. Frisco's incredible growth is creating some serious insurance challenges that people need to understand. We're talking about a city that just experienced 10.2% population growth in 1 year. And here's the stat that should wake everybody up. Traffic accidents in Frisco have increased 35.66% since 2010.
That's over a third more accidents. And it makes total sense when you think about it. Frisco's gone from this quiet suburb to a major destination. You've got the Universal Kids Resort under construction, the PGA headquarters, the Fields development, Toyota Stadium events. All of that growth means more cars, more congestion, more risks.
And let's talk about what that really means for your wallet. The average Frisco driver is paying about $2,078 a year for full coverage auto insurance. That breaks down to roughly $173 a month. And for minimum coverage, you're looking at about $978 a year.
Now, here's something that really surprises folks. Those Texas minimum requirements, 30/60/25. That means $30,000 per person and bodily injury, $60,000 per accident, and $25,000 for property damage. Sounds like a lot of money, right? But it's actually dangerously low for a city like Frisco.
So true. Think about it. You're cruising on the Dallas North Tollway during your daily commute, which, by the way, averages 30.1 minutes for Frisco residents, and you get into a serious accident with multiple people injured. One person's medical bills alone can blow through that $30,000 limit in a heartbeat.
And if you total someone's car, with the luxury vehicles you see all over Frisco, $25,000 in property damage coverage might not even cover one vehicle. This is where working with experts who understand Frisco specifically becomes critical. Shell Insurance, 972-423-4546. They help Frisco drivers understand why those state minimums just aren't enough anymore.
Absolutely. And let's talk about something that keeps me up at night. Uninsured motorists. You know what percentage of Texas drivers are on the road without insurance? 14%. That's 1 out of every 7 drivers.
1 in 7. So every time you're sitting in traffic on the tollway or driving through one of those congested areas near the Fields development, statistically, multiple cars around you don't have insurance. And if one of them hits you, guess whose problem that becomes?
Yours, unless you have uninsured motorist coverage. And here's what blows my mind. This coverage isn't even mandatory in Texas. Insurance companies have to offer it to you, but you can decline it in writing. And way too many people do because they're trying to save a few bucks.
But this coverage is so affordable. For $25/50 uninsured motorist coverage, you're typically looking at $3 to $6 a month. That's the price of a fancy coffee. And it could save you from financial devastation if you're hit by someone who can't pay for your damages.
And it's not just about uninsured drivers. Underinsured motorist coverage is equally important. Say someone with those minimum 30/60/25 limits hits you and causes serious injuries, their policy maxes out, but your medical bills keep climbing. Your underinsured motorist coverage kicks in to fill that gap.
This is another area where Shell Insurance really shines. They're located right there in the area, and they understand Frisco's traffic patterns, the Dallas North Tollway risks, all the unique challenges of insuring drivers in one of America's fastest-growing cities. You can reach them at shellinsurance.com. That's SCHELL insurance.com.
Now, let's talk about what might be the biggest insurance expense Frisco families face: teen drivers. With Frisco ISD having 67,000 students, there are a lot of families dealing with this right now.
Oh boy, the numbers on teen drivers are intense. Adding a 16-year-old to your policy can increase your annual premiums by $2,000 to $3,000. In Texas, teen drivers are paying an average of $333 a month for auto insurance.
$333 a month. That's almost $4,000 a year just for one teen driver. And here's something parents need to understand. 16-year-old males pay about $495 annually more than 16-year-old females because statistically, young males are involved in more accidents.
The statistics back that up. Teen drivers aged 16 to 17 crash at a rate of 1,432 accidents per 100 million miles driven. That drops to 730 for 18 to 19-year-olds. So insurance companies aren't just making up these rates. They're based on real crash data.
But here's the good news. There are strategies to manage these costs. First and most important, always add your teen to your existing family policy. Never buy them a separate policy. It's way more expensive to insure a teen separately.
Second strategy, good student discounts. If your teen maintains a 3.0 GPA or better, gets on the honor roll, or ranks in the top 20% of their class, many insurers will give you up to 25% off.
That's huge savings. Third strategy, defensive driving courses. Having your teen complete a state-approved defensive driving course can reduce rates and honestly makes them safer drivers. It's a win-win.
Fourth, think strategically about which vehicle you assign to your teen. If you've got a newer car and an older, less valuable car in your household, put the teen on the older car. It'll have lower comprehensive and collision costs.
And fifth, consider telematics programs like Drive, Save, and Save. These use technology to monitor your teen's driving habits. Safe driving means lower rates, and it gives you peace of mind knowing how they're doing behind the wheel.
Now, let's talk about coverage types that every Frisco driver should have. We already covered liability and uninsured motorist, but collision coverage is critical too, especially with Frisco's traffic congestion.
Collision coverage pays for damage to your vehicle regardless of who's at fault. So even if you cause the accident, or if it's a single car accident, your vehicle repairs are covered. With used car values still high, collision coverage protects a major asset.
Comprehensive coverage is your protection from everything else: theft, vandalism, weather damage. In a growing urban area like Frisco, comprehensive coverage is essential. Your car's parked at Toyota Stadium for an event, someone dings it in the parking lot and takes off, comprehensive can cover that.
And here's something Frisco commuters really need: rental reimbursement coverage. If your car's in the shop after an accident, you still need to get to work, get kids to school, handle life. Rental coverage pays for a temporary vehicle while yours is being repaired.
Same with roadside assistance. You're on the Dallas North Tollway, you get a flat tire or your battery dies. Roadside assistance gets you help quickly. It's minimal cost for major convenience and safety.
Let's circle back to those liability limits because this is so important for Frisco drivers. Instead of the state minimum 30/60/25, we recommend at least 100, 300, 100 coverage.
That's $100,000 per person in bodily injury, $300,000 per accident, and $100,000 in property damage. Yes, it costs more than minimums, but it actually protects you in a serious accident.
Think about Frisco's demographics. You've got Toyota's North American headquarters nearby, State Farm, JP Morgan Chase, Liberty Mutual. There are a lot of high-income professionals living in Frisco, driving valuable vehicles. If you're at fault in an accident involving these vehicles and people, you need adequate liability coverage.
And here's something people don't think about. If you cause a serious accident and your insurance limits are exhausted, you're personally liable for the rest. They can come after your assets, your home, your savings. Adequate liability coverage protects everything you've worked for.
This is exactly why working with Shell Insurance makes such a difference. They're not just selling you a policy and walking away. They're helping you understand Frisco-specific risks and making sure your coverage matches your actual exposure. Give them a call at 972-423-4546.
That's 972-423-4546, or visit shellinsurance.com. That's SCHELL insurance.com.
They'll review your current coverage, identify any gaps, and make sure you're protected as Frisco continues growing.
Don't learn the hard way that Texas minimums aren't enough. Don't find out after an accident that you should have had uninsured motorist coverage. Be proactive, get protected, and drive with confidence knowing you're covered.
That wraps up today's episode of Insurance Talk Texas. We covered a lot of ground on Frisco auto insurance, from teen drivers to uninsured motorists to proper liability limits. Share this with your Frisco neighbors, your fellow commuters, anyone navigating these busy roads.
Stay protected out there, Frisco, and remember, Shell Insurance is here to help. We'll catch you next time on Insurance Talk Texas.
Stay safe, Texas.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to visit our sponsor, Shell Insurance, for all of your business, homeowners, and auto insurance needs. Call them at 972-423-4546 for a quote, or visit their website at schellinsurance.com. That's SCHELL insurance.com. See you next time.